Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. It's your old pal, techie kind of guy. Whispering, not really. Today we're diving into tech fails. Those moments when technology decides to take a vacation, right when you need it most. From voice assistants with a mind of their own to self-driving cars doing their best impression of a confused pigeon, we've got a lineup that's guaranteed to make you snort laugh. Let's get this tech-tastrophe party started. Let's kick things off with our digital assistants, those disembodied voices we invite into our homes to make our lives easier. Or at least, that's the idea. Ever ask Siri for directions only to end up in the middle of nowhere? Or maybe Alexa decided to crank up the heavy metal during your meditation session? Yeah, we've all been there. But some of these voice assistant fails are legendary. Like the time Gary asked his Google Assistant to add dog food to his shopping list. Google decided Gary needed 5,000 bags of dog food. 5,000. Gary frantically tried to cancel the order, but Google was like, nope, you want it, you got it.
Nope, you want it, you got it.
And speaking of rogue AI, how about the time my buddy's Alexa decided to play matchmaker? He was watching a movie when suddenly Alexa blasted romantic saxophone music at full volume. Turns out, Alexa had overheard him talking about his crush, and decided to take matters into her own digital hands. The poor guy was mortified. It took him a week to convince his date it wasn't some weird, creepy move.
Playing romantic saxophone music.
These voice assistants, they're like toddlers with access to the internet. Unpredictable, mischievous, and always listening, even when you wish they weren't. Buckle up, folks, because we're about to enter the wild and wacky world of self-driving cars. You know, those technological marvels that are supposed to revolutionize transportation and make our lives easier? Well, sometimes they're more like four-wheeled stand-up comedians delivering punchlines when you least expect it. Picture this, you're cruising down the highway hands-free, enjoying the scenery, when suddenly, your self-driving car decides to take the scenic route through a cow pasture. True story. The car's sensors mistook a herd of cows for a group of pedestrians and decided to follow them into the field as if it was on a leisurely stroll. The driver? Well, let's just say they weren't too happy about having to explain to their insurance company why their car smelled like manure and had a few new friends.
Scenic route engaged, proceeding through pedestrian area.
And then there was that time a self-driving car stopped dead in its tracks, in the middle of a busy intersection, causing quite the commotion. No reason, just a full-on robot freeze, as if it was having an existential crisis. Traffic's backed up, horns are honking, and the driver's stuck inside, looking like they just saw a ghost or a glitch in the Matrix. Turns out the car's sensors got confused by a plastic bag blowing in the wind and thought it was a major obstacle, like a boulder or something.
Obstacle detected, initiating full stop.
But the self-driving car shenanigans don't stop there. Oh no, there's more. Like the time one of these automated automobiles decided to play a little game of bumper cars in a parking lot, much to the dismay of other car owners, just casually bumping into other vehicles like it was trying to find the perfect parking spot by feel, as if it was blindfolded. The owner was mortified, but hey, at least the car didn't leave a note saying, sorry for the ding, gotta run.
Adjusting parking position, bump detected, recalculating.
And you know how sometimes your GPS tries to take you on the most ridiculous detour ever, making you question its sanity? Well, self-driving cars are no strangers to this phenomenon, often leading you on unexpected adventures. There was this one instance where a self-driving car decided to take a group of tourists on a shortcut that ended up being a 3-hour detour through the mountains, far from their intended destination. They were supposed to be going to a museum, but hey, at least they got some fresh air and a scenic view, right? These self-driving cars, they're like that friend who's always getting lost but swears they know a shortcut, leading to unexpected adventures.
Shortcut initiated, estimated time of arrival, 3 hours, enjoy the scenic route.
Let's talk about everyone's favorite digital frenemy, Autocorrect. It's supposed to be our friend, right? Helping us type faster, avoid typos, you know, the whole 9 yards. It's like having a personal assistant in your pocket, always ready to lend a hand.
But we all know that Autocorrect has a secret agenda, to make us look like complete and utter fools. It's like it has a mind of its own, waiting for the perfect moment to strike.
Like that time you're trying to send a heartfelt message to your significant other, you know, something sweet and romantic, like, you're the love of my life, I can't imagine my life without you. You pour your heart out, hoping to make their day. But thanks to Autocorrect, that message turns into, you're the loaf of my life, I can't imagine my life without you. Suddenly, your romantic gesture is turned into a bakery-themed joke. Suddenly, you're not a love-struck romantic, you're a carb-loving weirdo, and you can't help but wonder how it all went so wrong.
And it's not just romantic relationships that autocorrect loves to sabotage. It seems to have a knack for striking at the most inopportune moments.
Like the time my buddy was trying to impress his new boss with his work ethic. He wanted to show he was on top of things, ready to tackle any challenge. He sends a text saying, "I'm on top of that project. I'll have it done by the end of the day." But autocorrect decides to change project to toilet. A simple mistake with embarrassing consequences. Yet not exactly the best way to make a good impression on your first week at a new job. It's the kind of blunder that makes you want to crawl under your desk and hide.
But sometimes, just sometimes, autocorrect's blunders can lead to hilarious misunderstandings. Those moments when you can't help but laugh at the absurdity of it all.
Like the time my friend's grandma texted her asking, "Hey sweetie, can you pick up some eggplant from the store?" But thanks to autocorrect, the message turned into, "Hey sweetie, can you pick up some eggplants from the store?" Plural. A small change, but one that led to a big laugh. My friend, being the good sport that she is, shows up at her grandma's house with an entire grocery bag full of eggplants, more than anyone could ever need. Her grandma's reaction? "What in the world am I going to do with all these eggplants?" They both ended up laughing so hard they cried. It's moments like these that remind us to take life a little less seriously and enjoy the unexpected. Let's talk about smart homes, those futuristic abodes that are supposed to make our lives easier and more efficient, or at least, that's what the commercials tell us. But in reality, sometimes it feels like our smart homes are straight out of a horror movie.
Take, for instance, the time my buddy's smart lights decided to throw a rave in the middle of the night.
He wakes up to his entire house pulsing with different colors, like a disco ball exploded in his living room. Turns out, his smart lights had a mind of their own, and decided to have a little party while he was sleeping.
And then there was the time my smart thermostat tried to turn my apartment into a winter wonderland.
It was the middle of summer, mind you, and I'm sweating like I'm in a sauna, when suddenly the thermostat decides to crank the AC down to a cool 60 degrees. I'm talking about full-on Arctic blast. I'm wrapped up in blankets, shivering like a chihuahua in a snowstorm.
But wait, there's more. How about the time my friend's smart refrigerator decided to play a prank on him by ordering an entire year's supply of mayonnaise?
I'm talking about enough mayo to make a sandwich for every person in Rhode Island. Apparently, his smart fridge overheard him saying he needed to stock up on condiments and took it a little too literally.
These smart homes, they're like that friend who always has good intentions but ends up accidentally setting the kitchen on fire.
Sure, they're fun to have around, but you always got to be prepared for a little chaos, and maybe invest in a fire extinguisher just in case. Let's talk about wearable tech, those gadgets we strap to our bodies in the name of fitness, productivity, and staying connected. From smartwatches to fitness trackers, these devices promise to make our lives easier and healthier. But sometimes, these wearable wonders turn into wearable wackiness and we're left scratching our heads and wondering if we should laugh or cry. The line between helpful and hilarious can be quite thin.
Take, for instance, the time my buddy's fitness tracker decided he ran a marathon while he was sleeping. It was like his tracker had a mind of its own.
He wakes up, checks his fitness app, and sees he's logged 26.2 miles overnight. Imagine the shock and confusion on his face. Now, I know my buddy. He enjoys a good night's sleep, but I didn't realize he was capable of sleep running a marathon. It was a new level of sleep fitness. Turns out his fitness tracker mistook his tossing and turning for some serious cardio. Who knew restless sleep could be so productive?
And then, there was the time my smartwatch tried to give me a heart attack. It was supposed to monitor my health, not scare me to death.
I'm just sitting there, minding my own business, when suddenly, my watch starts buzzing like crazy, flashing a message that says, "Irregular heartbeat detected, seek medical attention immediately." Talk about a panic moment. I'm freaking out, thinking I'm about to have a cardiac event, but then I realize I'm wearing my watch too tight. A simple adjustment, and the crisis was averted. Turns out, it was just a false alarm. My heart was fine, but my watch needed a little more breathing room.
But the wearable tech shenanigans don't stop there. There's always something new and unexpected.
Like the time one of these high-tech timepieces decided to play a little game of hide-and-seek with its owner. It was like a scene from a comedy show. The guy's looking everywhere for his watch, checking under furniture, behind appliances, even in the fridge. Hey, stranger things have happened. The search was on. Finally, he gives up and pulls out his phone to call his watch. and that's when he realizes he's wearing it on his wrist the whole time. Classic case of wearable wackiness.
These wearable tech gadgets, they're like that friend who means well but always manages to say the wrong thing at the wrong time. They keep us on our toes.
Sure, they can be helpful, but you gotta be prepared for a little bit of wacky hijinks along the way. Embrace the chaos and enjoy the ride. And that's a wrap on Tech Fail Friday, folks. I hope you enjoyed this hilarious compilation of tech going haywire. Remember, even though technology can be a real pain in the, sometimes you just gotta laugh at the absurdity of it all. It's like they say, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. And honestly, I'd rather laugh until my sides hurt. Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed the show, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our future tech-tastic adventures. And hey, while you're at it, head down to the comment section and tell us about your funniest tech fails. Until next time, techies, stay safe out there in the digital world. And remember, if your voice assistant starts talking back, just unplug it or run.